Hello everyone and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. In this one we're covering 1.15 pre-release 3 and 4. However, we're starting off in a different snapshot. It is the combat test snapshot number 4, which was released last week, and I did a video covering that and I got a ton of comments about a feature that I wanted to just show you actually worked. So dispensers are compatible with tridents now. However, this is just a temporary feature that they are testing through these combat snapshots, and I got a whole bunch of suggestions saying to use the channeling enchantment. Now that we have thunder and rain, let's go ahead and press the button, and as you can see, the trident hits the creeper and it's turned into a charged creeper. You could literally make automatic charged creeper farms with this feature. However, it's not a part of the 1.15 pre-releases. This is just something they're testing independently. So let's get into our bug fixes, tweaks and changes for these 1.15 pre-releases. I'm going to be showing you the bugs that have been fixed. First of all, we're going to shoot a trident through a closed shulker, and you'll see that it actually just goes through it. It can do this with withers and ender dragons as well. It's a bug that's been patched out. While we're on the topic of tridents, there is a feature the trident had similar to the elytra I wasn't actually aware of, and a bug fix has brought it back to how it's supposed to behave. So see here, we've got a durability 2 trident and a durability 1 trident. You can't actually throw this one because it would break the trident entirely. So I can put this one above my head ready to throw it, but if I try that with this trident here, I'm right clicking and nothing will happen. So if you're a trident user, you'll be pleased to know when the durability runs down, you won't be able to use it and then break the trident. Here in the main menu, there have been 3 new splashes added. That's the yellow text that currently says made by Jeb on the screen. These are Minecraft Java Edition Presents Disgusting Bugs, Buzzy Bees, and in case it isn't obvious, foxes aren't players. These were added in pre-release 3. I should also mention that with each of these pre-releases, tweaks and changes are still being made into the chunk loading and the FPS, and your feedback is valuable. So I'll put a link to the Reddit thread where the devs are looking for feedback in the description box down below. If you let them know about your experience, we'll probably see more tweaks and changes coming to the loading of the world. We are now going to have a comparative look at the differences between the pre-releases. Here on the right, we actually have the erroneous and very luminous colours of texts on signs. They're supposed to be duller than this, but as always, people really like these bright colours, and so there's a suggestion going around that maybe what you should be able to do is also click on the sign with glowstone, and then it makes the text brighter, which I think is a really cool suggestion. The block shading of blocks that appear inside the inventory has been brought back to how it used to be. I personally actually like the brighter look of them as we had here in pre-release 2, but they're now going to be back to normal. A visual glitch appeared that made the enchantment glint not visible from the third person perspective, so you can see on the right there the enchanted book doesn't have the glint that you would expect to see. So this next bug is kind of devastating if you do this in survival mode. I've done it before. It's very tedious getting a shulker from the end through a portal using a boat like this. Here is the bug. When it goes through, the shulker simply disappears on the other side. So if we throw an ender pearl, follow it through, you can see here the boat goes through but the shulker disappears. So a quick check here in pre-release 4 just to make sure this is working. Let's follow it through and you can see the shulker made it through the portal. All of these barrels have the Desert Pyramid loot table, and due to a bug, if the barrel hadn't been opened when broken, it wouldn't drop any loot. So let's break that one, no loot. This one, no loot. But if we open it, we generate the loot and then it drops it, and that's not how it should behave. There was a bug found with dispensers and wither skeleton skulls. If you had 2 in a single slot and it was activated, it would then put it onto a player, but it would also shoot out the other one. As you can see, I've got a wither skeleton skull here in my inventory, so this has been patched out. And ender chests were invisible in this one. They will now be visible in pre-release 4. There was a bug report that tamed wolves would attack parrots, and I've been unable to recreate it, but supposedly they would occasionally attack a parrot, so we shouldn't see that happen again. If you've been watching these snapshot update videos, you'll know that they've been adding the spawning of baby animals into the game, and ocelots were overlooked, so now in jungles you'll be able to find baby ocelots naturally generating. Somehow a bug was introduced that allowed you to put snow layers on top of wheat blocks, which is very, very peculiar and won't be possible to do anymore. A A minecart's TNT explosion would be offset, as you can see there, it's over to one side. Oh, watch out, Wolfie. Projectile entities are erroneously rendered backwards, so you can see it is not the correct way around when the item flies through the space here. Okay, I really think this is just a wonderfully strange bug, but standing on soul sand or a path block, you'll actually get nudged off of it. So when I land, I'm not pressing any keys. I just seem to mysteriously get moved off of the block like there's a magnet or something's pushing me. What a very peculiar bug. In this update, silverfish would also suffocate when they go inside of soul sand. I think I've seen this bug reoccur quite a few times in the history of this game. Now bugs from pre-release 3, the inside of skeleton skulls would be rendered transparent, so you can actually sort of x-ray through them and see what's beyond. When you are very far from the center of the world, and I mean very, very far from the center of the world, enchantment tables would have trouble tracking the location of the player. I'm kind of offset a little bit from where it's aiming at. You can kind of see that sometimes. It's not obvious. Also, who's going to be this far away doing some enchantment? That's what I want to know. Also, in this version of the game, it doesn't matter what biome you're in or how high into the sky you go. The colour of the sky never changes, and some people really like this feature. It's not how it's supposed to be. The sky is supposed to change colour when you move through biomes. However, there is some discussion about adding an option to remove that, which I think is a good idea, you know. Give people options and let them customise their experience. Okay, this next bug kind of astounded me, but we got lapis on that side, redstone on this side over here. We're going to create an explosion in the middle. Not worry about the fact that the explosion is offset. That's just a visual bug. And then we need to look at where the drops land. You can see that lapis lands on this side and redstone makes its way onto this side over here. So I think what's happening is the game is like calculating the explosion and then moving all the drops to where the explosion is, as opposed to those items dropping from where they should do. Let's check this out in pre-release 4 where the TNT animation has been corrected. You can see now that time perfectly the lapis landed on this side and the redstone on this one. There was a bug report that on occasion when trying to breed pandas they would then go and attack you. If you've experienced this yourself, hopefully you won't be experiencing it again in 1.15. And here's a rather obvious error with item frames and maps. If they are not fully explored, the transparent parts become transparent on the block that they are placed on. I've also read several bug reports about armor stands having issues when being teleported by command blocks and functions, and this seems to be cleared up. There was a kind of obvious bug with rotation that doesn't appear to be here in pre-release 4, so if you mess around with armor stands and do teleporting, that stuff should be stable again. Also on the command front, when you add tags, they would display at random, so what we're going to do is add a whole bunch of letters, and then we'll see that they will display in alphabetical order now. If I could type properly, that is. There you go. See, they've been displayed in alphabetical order. So those were all the bug fixes and bugs that I were able to recreate for you in this video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. And if you didn't see the Snapshot Combat Test number 4, then there'll be a link to it in the description box down below and on the screen. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you soon in another one. Bye-bye.